Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our SalesIQ and ConfigIQ demo session today. My name is Sei, and I'm from Tokyo, Japan. So before we start, there's a few things I would like to make you aware. So we're using Zoom as the platform for today's training. So when you first enter this virtual meeting room, you will be initially muted. So you don't have to worry about the sounds or noise around you will not be heard. And also because it's a webinar, all the participants, your name will not be seen by each other. If you have a question during the session, you want me either to repeat or to stop, anything you want to share with me, you can mouse over the Zoom menu bar, which probably is showing the kind of lower part on your screen. So you mouse over that and you will see a menu pop up and there is a Q&A icon. You can click on that Q&A and start to type that anything you want to share with me. And there should be a checkbox saying anonymous. If you check that, your name will not be shown. And lastly, this session will be recorded. Okay. Now I would like to switch to our website. So right now, I think you're looking at the our homepage, www.keypointintelligence.com. So for those who already have the account with us, I recommend my colleague just put the link on the chat. So you can access from the link and you see the same screen as I do. And please sign in with me. So we try to do the same thing here. So you mouse over the sign in on the upper right corner and please select bliQ. And I logged in before, so my login process was skipped, but you should have your email address and password to sign in. And today, we would like to start with this one, the SalesIQ on the right-hand corner. So we'll click on that. So just you click on that, you will start the SalesIQ module. So what the SalesIQ is, it's basically, you can see, it's a very simple 3 steps that allow you to find the product and then finally complete the competitors list after 3 steps. So let me show you. From the SalesIQ, so you click on the national flag. These are the countries that currently SalesIQ is available. And we can start with maybe we can start with Singapore. And you know what? I'll stay with the USA. And as it just, sometimes Singapore will give me trouble. I don't know why. We'll start with USA. But no matter which country you select, the operation is exactly the same. So say right now I have a specific model that in my mind that I would like to take a look. So for example, I want to take a look at Kyocera Tax Alpha 3544 CI. So all you need, you don't have to type from Kyocera Tax Alpha. You need just a unique part, 3554, which most likely is the model name. So you type the model name, whatever contain 3554 will be give you as a candidate list. So simply you can just select one that you're looking for from this candidate list. So this is it, what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to click on this is it. You're done with the first step already. Now we're on the second step. Now you need to specify the brands that you want to compare with this task alpha. So usual, which is a click. You can still select a Coursera as well. Toshiba maybe, and maybe HP. So I already selected 6 vendors. On this second step, you're allowed to select up to 6 vendors. If you try to select the 7th, it wouldn't allow you like this. So after we select whatever vendors you want to compare with that device, and then you can just move to the lower left right-hand corner, and there's a continue, the orange button. You need to manually click on that. So from the step 1 to 2 is automatically you will be bumped into step 2, but from step 2 to step 3, you need to manually click on the continue. It'll take a couple seconds. Here we go. Here is a competitors list that the system came back for us. So Text Alpha, this is the one we entered. So it's labeled as a selected model. Text Alpha 3554 CI. And Canon, HP, Konica Minolta, those are the vendors that we selected at step 2. So these we're showing right now is showing a cover page. So I briefly go through that. You see this green check mark? Those are telling you that this device has a lab tested. So we were asked at the beginning or before we kind of launch this product, the dealers want to see what products being lab tested and what not. So we kind of put that kind of the first line, make it very visible to everyone. So whenever you found this green check, which means this device has tested. And if you click on that, it will take you to the lab test report. And you see another icon below the green check. These are actually means that that device had won some award before. And this is some icon that you don't really see that everywhere. So this is actually our security penetration test label. So this HP device actually have very good security level. So when we say the penetration test is we hire some white hacker and have them to attack that NFP and to see that NFP can actually protect those data inside. And these HP devices obviously pass that strict test and obtain this label here, security seal, what do we call that? And then you have some rough information or fundamental information from each device, telling you the price. Oh, by the way, it's a list of price and it's only available for the United States. If you select other countries, you would not find the price information. And they have the date, intro date, and some general specifications. Not very long, but give you some basic information for each device. And then you may notice, you see there is 6 tabs on the top that we selected by those vendors we selected on step 2. So we maybe take a look the Konica Minolta one. Okay, so to take a Konica Minolta as an example, we searched on a Text Alpha 3554. So probably it's a 35 ppm machine. As a head-to-head comparison, so these BZ-Hab C360i is the most close competitors with this Text Alpha. However, on the each vendor tab, what you can find is you can find a step up model with a faster, probably 45 ppm, and it also gives you a slower step down machine, which is the C300, probably 30 ppm. And also if there's available, we give you equivalent machine, same as a C360i, just as the mono. There's no C on that, so it's a mono machine. So usually if you open each vendor tab, it gives you the current competitive model and step up, step down, and the mono. So once you get used to this tool, as you're talking to your customer or talking to an end user, you can quickly conduct this search. And also, if you feel like, maybe their working environment that can afford a faster machine, and you can even choose a step up like this. And of course, you can include head-to-head comparison. So for this, for Konica Minolta, we do that. For Kyocera, as long as you select a Kyocera from the second step, it also creates a tab for you. So now step up, step down, and same thing, the mono equivalent. So maybe we can step like this, select like this, and for the HP, we also select. For the Canon, we do the same thing. And for Toshiba, I'm really randomly selecting here. Okay, so then, then you can go back to the compatible model tab and see you have those models already checked. And I also have actually beyond these, we have the check on those each vendor side. And then here's another big orange button says compare selected products. You click on that. And it takes a couple seconds. You will see a very similar or familiar page. It's a side-by-side compare. So these is actually end the SalesIQ already. So now we come back to normal bliQ, and you can start doing further, change the order or go to see the test the data and to export it, anything like that. So basically, it's very simple and already done for the SalesIQ. So maybe we go back. We go back to the SalesIQ again and to restart. So before we started with the text alpha keyword search, and in case that you don't have a specific device in your mind, in that case, you see a big banner here. I cannot even call that button. It should be a banner. It says, don't know the products. You click on that. Now, please tell us a few things and help us to narrow down the result. So first, tell us the speed range. So maybe this one with kind of a slower machine, 21 to 30 ppm. Okay, so among that 21 to 30 ppm, are you looking for a faster, which is a closer to 30 ppm, or you prefer a 21, a slower machine, closer to 21 ppm? So we see a slower would be good. And you think you value the feature more, or you are more cost conscious, and say maybe we'll add the feature. And do you need a multi-function? Yes. Do you need A3? Maybe we can say no. Do you need color? Yes. Do you need a fax? No. And now you can select the country again. Maybe we do Singapore. And this is done with the survey. How many questions? 6, 7 maybe? That's it. So it wouldn't take you more than 1 minute anyway. So you can, as you're talking to your customer, you can still just click those. And now you need to manually click this continue. So those go to the next step button is always located on the lower right-hand corner. And same step 2. Now, based on the answer that we gave on the step 1, these are the possible vendors that we can choose. So maybe we choose some different player from before, Lexmark and Brother. Okay. And I'm good. Say I'm good with, oh, it's already 6 anyway. Now click, you're done with the step 2 and go to the continue again. See, now we see the competitors list again. Just the only difference before, when we did the keyword search, the taxi alpha device was saying select the model. But instead, right now, we just answered a series of questions. So all the device on the top page is saying that recommended device. So for those devices, and still, we have each tab contribute to each vendor we collect. So for example, you open the Sharp. Oh, too bad. They don't have the step up and step down, but they have mono for you. How about OK? Similar, huh? So I guess for the slower machine, you have less options in this case. Epson, brother. Okay, so you still, just simply check the devices that you want to make a comparison, and then click on the orange button, compare selected products, and done. Again, we're now back to bliQ on the side-by-side menu again. Okay, so I demonstrated 2 types of the way how to use the SalesIQ, and I hope everyone's with me. And any question? We're all good? Okay, now I would like to give you a demo on the ConfigIQ. That's another story, actually. Yeah, I have a previously was a busy hub device is already here, so might as well use this one. By the way, the ConfigIQ is only available for the US. So if you want to use that, you want to make sure you select the United States. Okay. So I got a question asking me, may I know if this session have recorded? Yes, this session is recorded, and later on it will be uploaded to YouTube that I will let you know at the end of the session, so everyone can have access to that. Thank you for your question. Okay, so for example, I'm just gonna use the Busy Hub as an example. So we click on the United States one. Okay, as I said, the ConfigIQ currently is only available for the United States. But you know what? Because it's a beta version and we usually constantly working on that. Sometimes it may expand to other countries that they will never tell me. I need to log in to find out. So if you find out it's available for other countries, so you're the lucky one. Okay. So there's a couple ways to enter or to start the ConfigIQ module. So one is you can open the product detail, and underneath tool, if you see here's a ConfigIQ button there, and it's saying new, which means this device, this Busy Hub device, has a ConfigIQ function for you. Or I believe there's a couple I can show you. Oh, no, not this one. I can show you is, I think Kelsella and maybe Sharp. Yeah, I don't think Canon, but let me check. Okay, let's look at like a couple. I think as of now, we have Konica Minolta, and we have Kelsella. Okay, now it's a normal side-by-side. And from here, you also can enter the ConfigIQ. It's from this button here. So if you see a button says configure beta, you can use the ConfigIQ. So currently, like the 8 devices that we're looking at, we have the Busy Hub one, Tax Alpha, and IMC Rico, and the Sharp BP series. And they all have the ConfigIQ data for you. So maybe I will start with the IMC 3500. So you just click this here, the orange button here, and this will load the Config IQ. So Config IQ is also very simple tool, same 3 steps. And by using 3 steps, it basically helping you to build up those options around the engine and also help you to visualize how it's gonna look like after all the options being built up. Okay, step 1 is the feeding options. So I tend to choose a bigger one so that it's kind of, you can see the changes, right? Once you see there's no further options in this step, and then you can just mouse over on the top, it says step 2. And here on the step 2, you need to select finishing related options. So maybe internal shift tray, well, you probably will not be able to see that. Maybe one bin tray like this. And it shows you here, right? And then it's saying that once you see the thumbs up, basically it's pretty much done already. And from here, we're already on the step 3. Step 3, you click on that, and there's other main unit if you want to add, but some already embedded. So basically, it's nothing for you to choose. So we're pretty much done for the Config IQ. And the things I can share with you is some common button on the right-hand side. So first of all, you can use this zoom plus and minus to zoom in or zoom out. Or you can simply just place your mouse on top of the device and scroll up, and then will allow you to zoom in, and you can see very clearly. And you slowly scroll down, it kind of allow you to zoom out, okay? And save, you need to save it. So in order for you to save it, you need to say is IMC 3500, and usually I like to put today's date, and you need to enter your customer's name. So I enter my name there, and you click on save. It's saved. And then after it's saved, you can also do is share. You click on the share button, and they give you a hyperlink that you can just send it to your customer, and they will see the same picture with the same option that you just selected. Or you can also export that. So let's see, we want to export to a PDF. So I will say export, and you will see a PDF will be downloaded, and you can just open that. You can also download that or export that to PDF, to Excel, but in that case, it only shows you the options and no photo goes with that. So first you see the dimension, so how big, how much space it will be required to place this device, and you see the shape of the power and some basic information. 35 ppm and paper size and maximum paper capability, capacity, I'm sorry. And the option list, here's showing that what we just chosen before. So the main body, and then on top of that, the feeding paper tray, and then there's the output or finishing related option being put on this side. And then you have your customer's name, and I guess you can put your name here or your sign here. Then it's pretty much done already for this. Okay, it's so simple. And maybe we can try another one and maybe try the sharp. This one doesn't have the product photo there. I don't know why. Let's see how it works on the config IQ. So I just chose the sharp. You see, it's here for the sharp one. And here we can do the very same thing. From step 1, we will select, either select, or we can just plus, and the big feeding tray, and you're done. And for this one, wow, folding unit. Okay, it's both. It's been added? How come? Oh, you need to check it. Either way, I guess. Okay, I'll choose the folding unit. Like that. See, I like this one because you can see the big changes. Here we go. If you don't need that, once you see the thumbs up, the basic, it just means that very basic functions already covered. So if you want to choose further, you can please go ahead, but the devices can be functional at this point already. And the same thing, because we already see the thumbs up, and you can zoom in to take a look. See, I like it because it's a very good resolution of the photo. You can see that quite clearly. And I do receive questions asking me if I can turn this device around. Unfortunately, currently we can't. We can only show the front image. Sorry, no back image yet. And we're still talking to the vendors, and more vendors. Before we started, Sharp's actually the first vendor raise their hand, agree with our config IQ. We really appreciate that. And follow to that, more vendors like Konica Minolta, now Kyocera, and Ricoh, more and more vendors and agree with us and help us to build this config IQ. As you see here, we will need lots of vendor input, and they give us the photo, they give us the options, the model name. Without their help, we cannot build this just by ourselves. So that's why we will need the vendor's agreement for us to building this config IQ. So if your device is not embedded with this config IQ and you are interested, you can either contact me or you can contact your account manager, which is Loretta. And either way, just give us a call or drop us a line and we'll make sure to follow up with you. Okay, and same here, we can save that. It's a sharp, what was that? 36, I think. And maybe we put David as a customer name. And you need to save that, then you can share that. Again, you can export that. So I still want to export that to PDF and open that to give you a quick look. So now, yeah, it's saying, oh, BP, I forgot BP. So it's a sharp machine, give you dimension, and again, basic, the information here, and the option list we selected. And because the option list is a little bit long, I guess the signature line goes to the second page. Okay. So very simple. Any questions? So while you're thinking of questions, maybe I would like to tell you that we have opened a YouTube channel before that. We received a question before. And my colleague kindly put the YouTube channel's link now at the chat window. You can click on that. So once you click on that, you will be seeing that Keypoint Intelligence. The YouTube channel actually is oriented by Japan office. We have another one, I believe, is the by the US, but I'm not responsible for that one. I'm responsible for this one you're looking at. So what do we do here is we do upload all various training like today. We upload those movies so that whenever you want to refer to anything, and you can come back to here and refer to the movie that you're looking for. And also, for example, if you want to refresh your memory and you feel like, you haven't used the bliQ for a while, and you can maybe take a look at our 60 minutes, very deep inside functionality on the bliQ office. And the good is, even though it's 60 minutes, and we created a chapter for you. So if you only want to see how to compare, how to do the side-by-side, you can just click on here, or you only want to know how to share with your colleague and stuff. So you can just looking at exactly something you want to look for. And this one type of the movies has been uploaded. And also, for example, we have some like 10 minutes to tell you about our company, or something like, the product timeline. And very few users noticed that we actually added a paper size on that. But since I don't have time to cover this on our normal training, so I create a short movie and to tell you about that type of thing, will be covered in those YouTube channel, and usually is in Japanese and English, and we do have some Chinese one, and not too many yet, but we do have Chinese movies as well, like those. So for those any Chinese speakers, and I'll try to create more Chinese movies go up there, and we will be regularly upload new movies. So please, subscribe our channels, and if you like the movie, please give me your thumbs up, and that really directly affects my motivation on that. Thank you in advance. And lastly, we would like you to fill out 2 questions about my training today. So what function do you use, or do you plan to use most in bliQ? So for those first-time user, if you plan to use. And today what we cover is the SalesIQ, but there's other normal functionality like specifications, side-by-side, and very detailed test report, and those. And also, do you think today the bliQ, well, the SalesIQ is what focus today, but you think the bliQ will help you on your daily practice or not? So let us know your honest feedback. Thank you. If you don't have other questions, I will stay online for a little bit. Make sure nobody has any more questions. And if you are okay with that, so after to answer this question, please feel free to leave. I thank you for your time today, and I hope to see you sometime later. Have a good evening. Okay, bye-bye.